Good morning and welcome back to the channel. So I just want to give a quick update on a couple different things that have been happening, some different whale alerts that have come out over the last day or so, some recent news. This is going to be a quick update because I have a different video coming out later today that's covering everything else that's going on and the rapidly growing number of catalysts that are out there. So I'm going to be covering that later on, but I want to go over this really quick just to make sure, keep everybody up to date. So there's been two recent whale alerts put out about inflows and outflows for Bitcoin specifically. And there was one that came out that said 1,400 Bitcoin, and I usually go look at all these different transactions just to verify. But this channel is always legit from everything that I've seen. 1,400 Bitcoin worth about 60 million transferred from Coinbase to an unknown wallet. So taken off the exchanges, roughly 60 million worth. Now, there was just 500 Bitcoin, which is roughly 20 million, transferred from unknown wallet to Binance, so brought back on Binance. So one big outflow, one big inflow, but net 900 Bitcoin leaving exchanges. So for the last two big whale alerts and the last two big inflows or outflows, there's been 900 net Bitcoin leaving exchanges. Just go over some things that we know to be true. None of this is financial advice. By the way, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research, make your own decisions. Hash rate, all-time high. Supply is still low. Illiquid supply is still high. Miner supply is still high. Long-term holder supply is still high. So along with numerous other metrics, but in my personal opinion, everything macro level on-chain looks very good. And I don't know when they're going to stop doing what they're doing with the market and finally let the market run. In my personal opinion, I think it's going to be when one of the mini catalysts happen in the foreseeable future. When that is going to be, I'm not entirely sure, but my plan really never changes. As long as the price is low, I just continue to dollar cost average and stack up, because at some point in time, in my opinion, over the next year or so, retail is going to get priced out of the market. Just my opinion. Fidelity, one of the largest asset managers in the world, is advising countries to go ahead and buy Bitcoin. And the ones that do it sooner rather than later will be better off than their peers. Just think about that. Fidelity, one of the largest asset managers in the world, with I think maybe 4 or 5 trillion assets under management, dollars worth of assets under management, are advising countries to buy Bitcoin and to do it before other countries do it, and openly saying you will be better off than your peers. So there's that. Mark Cuban, 80% of his investments that are not in Shark Tank are crypto related. And then he breaks down all of that. And are we seeing billionaires, very big investors, are we seeing them continue to allocate more and more and more to crypto, or start to decrease their positions? All I've seen for the last 6 to 8 months is very big billionaires own companies, multiple different companies have continued to allocate more and more and more to crypto, to Bitcoin, to the blockchain space. On top of that, O'Leary went on Pomp Show yesterday, and we know O'Leary's done the same. He started with 3%, then I think it went to 7, now it's over 10. He said he can go up to 20. So I get the bearish sentiment in the retail space, but I don't see that from any of the big hands. And again, guys, they've just been continued to buy. I mean, I've lost count of all the different examples just over the last couple of weeks of very large purchases happening. Why the price is still sitting where it is, I've been over numerous different examples as to how they can manipulate the price of Bitcoin in the short term. By short term, I mean 2 to 3 months. They can do this for an extended period of time because of how they structure the market, in my opinion. But we have just seen continued allocation from these big billionaires. We've seen continued accumulation happening on chain. And why the price is doing what it is, that's probably because they've structured this market to where they can suppress the market for an extended period of time, convince people it's all over, all the way up until the point to where it runs back up. So that's my take on that. Can we see further volatility? I'm sure that we can, because I believe that open interest is still relatively high. I haven't checked it in the last day or so, but I mean, from everything that I saw, open interest is still relatively high. So we could see big moves one way or the other. But given all the catalysts that are happening, which I'm going to be going over in my other video, I mean, that's why I just can't fathom, even thinking about going anywhere because of all the catalysts that are out there that could start a avalanche of just a chain reaction of things happening, not just in this country, but all around the world. Okay, so and I don't know if I mentioned there, O'Leary, every country will mine Bitcoin soon. So he came out on Pomp Show yesterday and said that. So this came from George's news channel, Cryptos Are Us. You can go read this for yourself. Algorand is working with PayPal. Here are the details. Now, I read through all of this, and this has to do with the acquisition of PayPal or acquisition of Curve. And the guy breaks it all down. It's actually, it reads like very good investigative journalism type work. You can go read this for yourself. I don't want to, dive too deep into this just because I want to see some formal announcement come out from one of them. But this, this is great journalism work and great like detective work in my personal opinion. So you can go look at this. If this is the case and there is some confirmation that's put out about this, it wouldn't surprise me, because Algorand's an ISO compliant blockchain. So I would expect PayPal to partner with one of the ISO compliant blockchains. Mentioned that in my video a couple weeks ago. Walmart quietly preparing to enter the metaverse. Everybody's in, guys. All the big billionaires are in. All the big corporations are in. Everybody's in, except for normal everyday people, and for the people that were in but got flooded out of the market. So other than that, everybody else is in. So I don't know where you'd go. All right. So in a separate filing, the company said it would offer users a virtual currency as well as non-fungible tokens or NFTs. So they filed for several new trademarks last month that indicate its intent to make and sell virtual goods. So, I fully expect them to announce that they are accepting cryptocurrency for payment at the stores at some point in time in 2022. And I think that a lot of these bigger announcements are being held back to suppress the market, in my personal opinion, along with the fact that Fidelity's Bitcoin ETF is still not being approved. Think about that. Think about the fact that corporations can accept Bitcoin for payment. You can pay your employees in Bitcoin. There are government officials being paid their salary in Bitcoin, mayors being paid their salary in Bitcoin, but yet they cannot pass a spot Bitcoin ETF. Think about that. That's happening in the same country with the same regulations. Now, it's different regulatory bodies that may oversee those different things, but how is there that much disconnect? Because in my opinion, it's solely just to suppress the price of Bitcoin, but they can't do this forever. At some point in time, they are going to approve these spot ETFs. But in my opinion, they're waiting for the right time to do it because that's going to have an impact on the market. So that's all I have for this video. The next video, I want to get into all the other things that are happening right now with all of this, because there are some interesting updates, and I think something big is going to happen. I have no idea what it is. There's also this that just came out, and yeah, there's a lot of things going on. So that's going to be my next video. Thank you everyone who has liked, share, and subscribed. Take care. Have a good day. I'll see you in the next video.